You've been putting ginger in your tea, your smoothies, your stir-fries for years. And don't get me wrong, ginger is good. But what if I told you there is a root that has been sitting in the shadow of ginger this entire time? One that is scientifically shown to be up to 10 times more powerful for inflammation, stress, and brain health. Today, we are pulling it out of the shadows. Stay right there. By the end of this video, you will know the exact roots, the exact doses, and who should never take them. Do not skip ahead. The warning section could matter more than anything else I say today. Let's start with ginger. And let's be fair, ginger genuinely works. It calms nausea, it aids digestion, it has mild anti-inflammatory effects, and it has been used medicinally for over 2,000 years. That track record is real. That science is real. If you are dealing with an upset stomach or mild bloating, ginger is your friend. No argument there. But here is where ginger hits a ceiling. Ginger cannot adequately address chronic systemic inflammation, the deep, persistent cellular kind that quietly drives fatigue, joint pain, and cognitive fog. Ginger does very little for cortisol dysregulation, the chronic stress hormone spiral that keeps millions of people wired but exhausted every single day. And ginger offers almost no meaningful neuroprotective support, the kind your brain actually needs to stay sharp under pressure. Think about the person who drinks ginger tea every morning and still feels stressed, still feels inflamed, still wakes up tired. Maybe that person is you. Ginger just was not built for those jobs. It is a kitchen herb doing its best in a clinical arena it was never designed for. And root number 2, the one that shocked me most when I first read the research, I will get to that at the 5-minute mark. Keep watching. Now let's agitate this a little, because I want you to understand the actual stakes here. Chronic inflammation and unmanaged cortisol are not just inconveniences. According to a landmark 2021 review published in Phytomedicine, one of the most respected journals in botanical medicine, persistent inflammatory signaling and elevated cortisol are mechanistically linked to cognitive decline, immune suppression, metabolic dysfunction, and accelerated cellular aging. These are not small things. These are the biological conditions that precede serious disease. And yet the wellness industry keeps pushing the same familiar names. Ginger, cinnamon, standard yellow turmeric. These are safe choices. They photograph well, they sell. But the science has moved forward significantly. The question is, has your supplement shelf moved with it? While these well-marketed herbs dominate store shelves, genuinely potent, well-researched alternatives have stayed obscure. Not because the science isn't there, it absolutely is, but because obscure roots don't have billion-dollar marketing budgets behind them. That ends today. So let's talk about the first root, black turmeric. You may know it as Nghe Den in Vietnamese tradition. Scientifically, it is called Curcuma caesia. It looks nothing like the yellow turmeric you know. Slice it open, and you will see dark, almost blue-black flesh. It grows in the forests of northeast India, Vietnam, and parts of Southeast Asia. It has been used in Ayurvedic medicine and Southeast Asian folk traditions for centuries for pain, inflammation, neurological support, and energetic vitality. But now we have science to explain why it actually works. Here is what makes black turmeric categorically more potent than standard turmeric. Standard turmeric is rich in curcumin, that's the compound most people know. But black turmeric contains a significantly higher concentration of bis-D-methoxycurcumin, a curcuminoid that research shows has stronger antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activity than standard curcumin alone. On top of that, black turmeric contains unique volatile oils, specifically camphor-based compounds and other phytoactive constituents that simply do not exist in yellow turmeric at meaningful levels. The 2021 Phytomedicine review highlighted Curcuma caesia among the most potent botanical anti-inflammatories, analyzed not just for raw antioxidant capacity, but for its ability to act at a cellular level, modulating inflammatory pathways more aggressively than its common cousin. Think of regular turmeric as the standard formula, and think of black turmeric as the rare, upgraded version your body actually responds to more powerfully. The analogy I use is this. It is like comparing a basic vitamin C supplement to liposomal vitamin C with enhanced cellular absorption. Same family, completely different league. Research also points to black turmeric's neuroprotective properties. Its compounds appear to reduce oxidative stress in neural tissue, which is significant for anyone concerned about long-term brain health, focus, and cognitive resilience. If you are interested in trying it, drop a 1 in the comments. And if you are more curious about the second root, the cortisol weapon I am about to reveal, drop a 2. I genuinely want to know which one you are most excited about. Now, the second root. And this one is the stress and cortisol weapon you have been missing, ashwagandha, botanically known as Withania somnifera. This root is classified as a true adaptogen, and that word matters. An adaptogen is not just a buzzword, it is a specific functional category. An adaptogen literally helps the body adapt to physical and psychological stressors by modulating cortisol output and supporting adrenal function. Ashwagandha has been studied more extensively than almost any other adaptogenic botanical, and the clinical results are consistently impressive. In multiple randomized controlled trials, ashwagandha supplementation has been shown to reduce cortisol levels by up to 30%. 30%. That is not a subtle shift. That is a measurable, meaningful reduction in your primary stress hormone. Beyond cortisol, clinical research shows ashwagandha improves VO2 max. That's your cardiovascular endurance ceiling, enhances working memory and attention, supports healthy thyroid hormone balance, and significantly improves sleep quality, particularly the deep restorative phases. The 2021 Phytomedicine review specifically highlighted the withanolide content in ashwagandha as the key bioactive driver, and emphasized that standardized extracts show dramatically more consistent results than generic, unstandardized powders. Withanolides are the compounds that do the heavy lifting. Not all ashwagandha products are equal, so let me give you the specific numbers. The clinically validated dose is 300 to 600 milligrams per day of root extract, not leaf extract, root extract. And for best results, look for products standardized to KSM, 6,6, or Sensoril. These are the two most researched proprietary forms with the highest withanolide concentrations and the most published clinical trials behind them. On timing, if your primary goal is energy and cortisol management during the day, take it in the morning with food. If your primary goal is sleep quality and recovery, take it in the evening about an hour before bed. Some people do both, splitting a lower dose morning and night, which is also well supported in the literature. Now here is why pairing black turmeric with ashwagandha creates something greater than either root alone. Black turmeric targets physical inflammation, the cellular, tissue-level oxidative damage that drives chronic pain and immune dysfunction. Ashwagandha targets neurochemical stress, the hormonal and neurological load that drives anxiety, fatigue, and cognitive decline. One works on the body, one works on the mind-body interface. Together, they create a comprehensive natural protocol that addresses the two most common root causes of chronic poor health in modern life. That is not marketing language. That is mechanism. Now, I need you to pay close attention to this next part. This is the section that matters most if this applies to you. Pregnant women should absolutely avoid both black turmeric and ashwagandha. There is documented evidence of uterotonic effects in black turmeric, meaning it can stimulate uterine contractions. Ashwagandha has demonstrated potential hormonal interference that makes it unsafe during pregnancy and potentially during breastfeeding as well. This is not a precautionary overstatement. This is a hard line. If you are pregnant or trying to become pregnant, please do not use either of these. Full stop. Additional cautions. If you are on thyroid medication, levothyroxine, or similar, consult your doctor before adding ashwagandha because it can actively influence thyroid hormone levels. That interaction could require your prescription to be adjusted. If you are on immunosuppressants or blood-thinning medications, black turmeric's potent anti-inflammatory activity warrants a medical conversation first. And because black turmeric is significantly more potent than standard turmeric, starting with a lower dose and building up gradually is always the wiser approach. I always recommend speaking with your healthcare provider before adding any new supplement, especially if you have an existing condition. That is not a disclaimer I throw in casually. That is genuinely good advice. Now let's make this practical. Here is exactly how to implement this protocol. Option 1. Ashwagandha capsule at 300 to 600 milligrams of standardized root extract, taken morning with food or before bed, depending on your goal. Option 2. Black turmeric powder added to golden milk, a morning smoothie, or taken in capsule form starting at a lower dose. Option 3. Combine both for the full anti-inflammatory and adaptogenic protocol, working synergistically. On sourcing, this matters enormously. Look for certified organic black turmeric and KSM, 6,6 or Sensoril Ashwagandha on the label. Avoid generic, unstandardized powders. The potency variation in unverified products is wild. You might be getting next to nothing active. On timeline, give at least 6 to 8 weeks before evaluating results, especially for ashwagandha's cortisol effects. These are not acute supplements. They work by reshaping your baseline physiology over time. And remember, these work best amplifying an already solid foundation. Good sleep, whole foods, regular movement. They are multipliers, not replacements. Let me give you the fast comparison map to close this out cleanly. Ginger, excellent for nausea, digestion, and mild inflammation. A genuine kitchen staple with legitimate benefits. Black turmeric, superior for deep cellular inflammation, neuroprotection, and antioxidant potency at a level standard turmeric simply cannot match. Ashwagandha, unmatched for stress adaptation, cortisol regulation, sleep quality, and cognitive performance under pressure. Ginger still earns a place in your kitchen. Absolutely. But if you are serious about fighting inflammation and chronic stress at a clinical level, black turmeric and ashwagandha are operating in a completely different league. The 2021 Phytomedicine review did not lie, and now you know what most people do not. If this changed how you think about natural health, hit that like button. It genuinely helps MediMint Health reach more people who need this information. Subscribe, because next week we are going deep into the 5 adaptogens that doctors are quietly recommending to their most stressed patients. That one might surprise you more than today did. Drop a comment below. Have you ever tried ashwagandha? Tell me what you noticed. I read every single comment. Your health is your greatest asset. Protect it with knowledge. I'll see you in the next one. This content is for educational purposes only. Please consult your doctor before making health changes.